It's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Monday, the 1st of September. The rent's due. Happy Labor Day. Communist Day. It's the end of summer, according to some. But the end of summer is really like the 21st or something, the 22nd or something. I don't know. When fall happens, I do notice that the days are getting shorter again. Up here in the northern hemisphere, ball earth proud, flat earth friendly. All right? The views expressed on this show do not represent Hake. I don't even represent myself. Afternoon, slave to him. Morning for me, but afternoon for you over on the East Coast. The sun, the flashlight sun, the flat earth, local flashlight sun that never dips below the horizon, even though it looks like it. I'm mocking the flat earthers, but in a friendly, jibbing, elbowing way. I don't know. It's over. It's more. It's further along for you guys. Yeah. So take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Okay. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Jesus saves is what it raved in a typical tattoo green. He stood on the box in the middle of the city, and he claimed he had a dream. We're going to get going here, everybody. Do feel free to call in or super chat. I did see your super chats, Gregatron and Nikki, I think. Thank you for the compliment on my banana cream t-shirt last week. Very nice. There it is. Jesus saves. And so we're no endorsement nor opposition implied. I'm not endorsing these homeless weirdos standing in the street. Or yeah, that was a Crescent Heights or whatever. Look, Bond, Punchy's Coffee here. Watch. Wait. Let me do this little advertisement for you guys. Although no endorsement is... Punchy's Coffee may not endorse Hake, but Hake endorses Punchy's Coffee. Punchy's Coffee. Check it out. And I don't usually even normally like the smell of coffee, but this one does. Smell good. Shout out. Shout out. Price includes shipping, by the way. Price includes shipping. Sweet. Yeah, so Beverly Hills. Very nice. Okay, so get yours, JesseLeePeterson.shop. Hello to the Punchy.tv people. And, let me get that thing out of the way. Just make sure that I'm live on all my platforms, okay? We have quite a bit of stuff to cover. And so, without too much ado further, let's get on with it, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Lord, that didn't sound right. I didn't like that. I don't like how it starts in the middle. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Hey, guys! Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. I have my little t-shirt on. All thoughts are all lies all the time. Shout out to the I already paid rent. Nice. Or mortgage. You don't know. Or maybe I already paid off a whole house. I don't disclose. But American Anchor Baby designed this. I remember Ruben. Ruben? What's his name? I got to check my texts. I'm treating texts like I treat my emails. Raphael gave me another idea. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. People want a simpler design on the all thoughts are all lies all the time. But I think this one's pretty cool. Because you know, hey, your head is swimming in thoughts sometimes. Terrible. So JCLeePeterson.shop for that as well. Okay? Pretty nice. So, do, ra, fa, mi, do, re, so, do, la, ti, do, re, do, mi, fa, la, so, la, ti, ti. Why is Joe Obama getting all these deletions? Crazy. Maybe you need to be timed out, Joe Obama. This doesn't sound right. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna get going here with. Oh, you know what? Super chats. I was remiss, actually, in getting to these over on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report, or if you just go to thehakereport.com, you can super chat. Nikki bought 15 coffees. Very generous. And she's a gal. The Hake Report, la la la, cartwheel emoji. The banana cream tea deserves its own donation. Why, thank you. Why, thank you, Nikki. Yeah, let me show that to you guys, just to refresh your memory. Remember that? That's what I wore on Friday. Feelings don't care about your facts. All right? So make sure you get yours if you so please. And Gregatron bought a coffee. I just wanted to thank Stephen last week for the wonderful words, capital W, capital W. I'm honored to not only be called a Diane, D-I-A-N, dumb, ignorant, A-N, but a C asterisk asterisk N, a He put me in a list with my two favorite callers, William III and Rick from Hampton, VA. That's great. Right on, Gregatron. Gregatron always has a good attitude, every time I've seen anyway. He is one guy in the snake pit who has not descended into snakehood that I've ever seen. It's always good to hear from Steven. He is so funny. Maybe he's Tony's father. What do you think about that, Hake? Wow. I don't know, man. I want Steven to call in more, cries Gregatron. Yeah, we do need Steven to call in more because I have put at arm's length other callers. Okay, I've put other callers at arm's length, meaning they can't call in. So, right on, Gregatron. Kevin Howe gives people a chance before he bans them. Yeah, that's quite understandable, man. Okay, so very nice. Very, very nice. I have lots, actually, to cover. Those were coffees from Friday. And then I'll refresh just to make sure that I'm caught up pretty well. But if we mosey on over to the HakeReport.com, you guys see the news? These judges are constantly blocking our greatest president, Trump. A judge blocks deporting children to Guatemala while they're on the tarmac. It's ridiculous. Appeals court ruled against Trump's plans to end legal protections for 600,000 Venezuelan so-called migrants. That was the news from AP. 1.2 million so-called immigrants are gone, both legal and illegal, from the United States labor force. 20% of our labor force is illegal. Is immigrant, legal or illegal, they say. So says preliminary data from Pew Research? I don't know, whatever. That black socialist is calling Trump out of control when he's out of control and his city's out of control. What a mess. Over in Chicago. And a 6.0 magnitude earthquake killed some people. Who's that? Guatemala City. So these are some, I guess one of them was an illegal and got deported. What? So he was reunited with his mother or something? Edwin Osorio Lopez embraces his mother, Maria Cristina Lopez, after being deported from the United States, and they're outside of La Aurora International Airport in Guatemala City, presumably in Guatemala, on Sunday. So is she happy to see him? So he got deported and he got reunited with his family. He's all old now. Interesting. So judges getting in the way. Is that enough? Does that excuse Trump for having low deportation numbers, or is Trump scamming us, according to you people, please? But yeah, call in and tell me Trump is a scammer, and we'll see. An earthquake destroyed villages in eastern Afghanistan, killed 800 people, 2,500 injured. Destroyed villages. Look at these people. Ooh. Oh, terrible. Brutal. Helicopters brought aid to Afghanistan's Kunar province Monday after a strong earthquake. And 6.0 doesn't sound that big, but apparently it was. What is it? What is it about it that, I mean, that's not that small. It's really not that small. That's nothing to sneeze at, apparently. Eastern Afghanistan, right next to Pakistan. Crazy. Children under the rubble, elderly under the rubble, young people under the rubble, said one villager who did not give his name. We need help here, he pleaded. We need people to come in and join us. Let's pull people out who are buried. There is no one who can come and remove dead bodies from under the rubble. Woo. Who knew? All kinds of mess going on in the world. What's this? Oh, Indonesia. Okay. Mess. Okay, so that's the little bit of news for you guys. I saw this on Threads, and I have like 100 or 1,000 favorite Jews in the world, up in heaven and on earth, and down below, perhaps. I saw this on Threads from the Daily Caller, and it was amusing. I wonder if it'll let me open it. Yeah. So how does it describe this? Daily Caller. Legendary Democrat filmmaker. I like that headline, because they're not saying who it was. But you see who it was if you're watching the video feed. Who directed Trump. He directed Trump. He was a director, you know? So he directed Trump, who acted in one of his movies, says that he was a pleasure to work with, that Trump was a pleasure to work with and a very good actor. And I'm like, hey, I recognize that guy. That's one of my perhaps top 100 favorite Jews. In one of his movies, Woody Allen movies, one of my friends, he's sort of white, into acting and stuff, comedy, sort of. I don't know if he's Irish or Italian or both or German or Russian or what, or all of the above. He showed my other friend, he's more of a friend of a friend, these Woody Allen movies, and Woody Allen in one of his movies was psychosomatically blind, meaning it was in his head. It made him blind. So this is Woody Allen. The guy that you guys call him a degenerate because he's not Christian. He doesn't have the Christian morals. He's not held back by Christian morals or values. He married some gal who already had a daughter, and then he got with that daughter. But it was like a stepdaughter type of thing. I don't know. But he's been through the ringer. And the daughter, I don't think the daughter is complaining. Stepdaughter who became his wife, right? Something like that. Anyway, filmmaker Woody Allen. Kind of a funny name. Just everything about him. It's just funny. He was on Club Random, a competitor's podcast with Bill Maher. Another one of my top 100 favorite Jews, probably. At least top 1,000. No, definitely top 100. Because these Jews are kind of hit and miss. Mostly miss, but sometimes they hit because they're older. And so they have a little bit of sense. Woody Allen has faced sexual misconduct allegations. Directed Trump in his 1998 movie Celebrity. Never heard of it. The filmmaker but that doesn't mean anything because I haven't heard of a lot of stuff that's classic. The filmmaker noted on the podcast that he was a Democrat politically opposed to Trump. 1998, was Trump still a Democrat at that point? I don't know. But he had no complaints about working with the future president. In about 20 years or less, he would become the president. Lord have mercy. A pleasure to work with and a very good actor, very polite and hit his mark and did everything correctly, and he had a real flair for show business. Everybody knew that already. Bill Maher quipped that Allen would be even more canceled. Here, let me see if I can... What's this going on over here? Deny non-essential. Hopefully I don't mess up this computer. Maybe I should be careful going on Daily Caller, trash web. Is it a trashy website? Does it have like degenerate ads like Daily Mail? Used to be owned by Tucker, but I don't think it's related anymore. Bill Maher quipped that Woody Allen would be even more canceled than previously was after commending the president. I only wish I could direct him now. If you would let me direct him now, he's president, I think I could do wonders, said Woody Allen. But he was easy to work with. He's different in person, said Bill Maher. When you say that, people who are purely emotional get very upset, even though it's just the truth, said Bill Maher. These guys are in show business. Bill Maher hosted something called Politically Incorrect. JLP was on it back in the late 90s or early 2000s. And then he has his own other show, something or other. Hardball. I don't know. I can't. Politically Incorrect or Hardball? Whatever. Bill Maher received left-wing backlash for attending a March dinner at the White House, the white on the inside White House, with our greatest President Trump, after which he described the president as a possible friend. Said he felt comfortable speaking to him. You notice how JLP and Trump and Jesus, they're approachable. Right on. I am a Democrat. I voted for former Vice President Kamala Harris, says Woody Allen. Embarrassing. Oh, Lord. See, I have a low... See, I don't hold them to any standard. They're still in my top 100. And I take issue with him 95%, maybe 99% of things. But as an actor, he was very good, very convincing, and he has a charismatic quality as an actor and as a man. And I'm surprised he wanted to go into politics. Politics is nothing but headaches and critical decisions and agony. And this was a guy I used to see at Knicks games, meaning basketball games. New York Knicks basketball team, right? And he used to play golf. He liked to play golf and judge beauty contests. Liked to do things that were enjoyable and relaxing. And why would anyone want to suddenly have to deal with the issues of politics is beyond me. But apparently, he doesn't mind. Isn't that deep? Shout out to the Jews. Bill Maher, isn't Woody Allen Jewish? Bill Maher is atheist, but his mother's Jewish. I think they might have raised him kind of Catholic. I don't know. Maybe Jewish. Whatever. Bill Maher said on a July episode of his podcast, the criticism of his dinner with Trump perfectly illustrated, blah, 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 blah. The stupidest thing the left does is having this attitude, we won't even break bread with you. We are so far above you, we won't even sit down at the same table with you. That is their attitude. It makes me sick, too, he said. Yeah, that's true. And what's funny is Trump is better than them, but he doesn't think that he's better than them. You don't know what you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. Anyway, so isn't that amusing? Isn't that nice? Let's look up Woody Allen and Bill. They look sort of similar. Don't try to type in. Okay, so that's him. 69 years old. William Maher. Okay. Real time. Whatever. And here's Woody Allen. Should these have been men's history heroes or white history? Wow, 89 years old. Woody Allen. No wonder he doesn't care. Actor, comedian, filmmaker. Hayward Allen, born Allen Stewart Konigsberg in 1935. Wow. His career spans 8 decades, the 50s to the 2020s. Received accolades, Academy Award, Best Original Screenplay. Academy Awards, those are Oscars. That's not too shabby. Golden Globes, Grammy. That's for, what, singing or something? Or coming up with some song? Wrote material for television in the 50s alongside Mel Brooks. I heard of him. Carl Reiner. Nice. So that's your little story. Yeah, here we go. Konigsberg, Mount Eden Hospital in the Bronx, New York City. German, they spoke German, Hebrew, and Yiddish. Wow. Real Hebrew Israelite. Look at him. Yep. That is he looks funny even right there. Let's look up old Bill Maher. Real quick. Early life. Also born in New York City, William Aloysius Maher Jr. was his father. So he's the third, I guess. Maybe. Okay. All right. And his mother, Julie Maher, born Berman, was a nurse. He was raised in his Irish-American's father, Roman Catholic religion. No wonder he's an atheist. Until his early teens, unaware his mother, whose family was from Hungary, was Jewish. Hey. So it was crypto-Jewish even to himself. He disagreed with the Catholic Church's doctrine about birth control. His father stopped taking Bill, little Billy, and his sister to Catholic Mass when Bill Maher was 13. Interesting. So there's your little, see, even the Jews can appreciate our greatest president, Trump. And we appreciate them, don't we? Oops, Maher. Okay. So that's done. Got to knock these things out, okay? All right. Let me get to a call here before I get too deeply into my stuff that I want to touch on. Jermaine in... Oh, sure enough, there's Super Jets. Okay. We got a book coming in. Jermaine in Canada is on the line over here. Jermaine, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, Hake, how are you, man?
Fine. How about you?
Nice. I'm just chilling on the Labor Day on the patio, chilling, you know?
So you have Labor Day in Canada?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Communism. It's international.
Why would you say it's communist? I never, thought about this, actually.
Yeah. So the so-called labor movement is actually, they're working to stop working and to get paid more than what they're worth. And so they are about unionizing. And unions are socialist because they get the government to back them. And then they get power over the companies in order to destroy and hamstring the companies so that the bosses can't make the decisions as to the direction of the company, and the it's kind of mama. The individual can't make his own deal. The individual worker cannot make his own deal with the boss to work for $5 an hour. He has to be like, oh, I want I have to go with my union wages. You have to give me $20 an hour, not $5. And so it just drives cost of doing business up. And there's all kinds of laziness and triflingness and scams and mess going on. And then the unions collect money and support Democrats, which is to say communism.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if it's a union thing.
It's victimhood stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Of course, I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just a wind-up toy. So take everything that you hear with a grain of salt.
Nice.
My handler has told me to say that.
The Jewish handler.
Yeah, my commie capitalist Jewish handlers, Judeo-Christian.
Amazing. Yeah, I was giving you a call about the story that I saw on the weekend of this lady, Veronika Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah, so she ended up getting hired at this the military base, and she was working at the front desk, and she ended up meeting this military doctor, and things went off. Doctor of high power, and she's at the front desk. She's
Veronika with a
gal.
K?
At the end?
No, yeah, K.A.? Former member of Pennsylvania Air National Guard?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so they end up going on a date, and she didn't like how the date was going, but they still end up at some place. I'm not sure if it was the guy's home or was it a hotel room or wherever. And they had, the intimates, the sex thing.
Ooh.
But my question is like, if you didn't like how it was going, how did you end up at his place and doing the naughty thing? It's kind of funny.
Oh, say what?
Wait, what did you say?
Say what? So she was. Wait a minute. So this woman falsely reported a rape?
Technically, that's the allegation I'm getting from the story.
Okay. Wow. This is rare because it's difficult to prove a false accusation. Woman convicted of illegally recording a sexual encounter she later claimed was a rape, sentenced to 30 days to 2 years in prison. That's quite a span. Veronika with a K.A. Rodriguez, sentenced at a hearing in Lebanon County Court Wednesday morning, DA Pierre Hess-Graf announced. Interesting.
Yeah, she illegally wiretapped him. But then the court listened to the tapping and she falsely accused him, which was so funny. She told on herself.
Great. That's odd. So she didn't remember that she had been recording?
No, she did it purposely to try to get him. But
okay.
It's kind of funny because I don't.
Never touched anyone. Okay, so she went on a date with Fahad Pervez. According to far-left Google AI, in January 2023, the doctor in the Pennsylvania Air National Guard, whom she met through the military, they engaged in consensual S in his car in a parking lot at the Fort Indiatown, real classy, Indiatown Gap property. Police approached the parked car for a parking violation, but no claims of assault were made at that time. The false report, the military began investigating the pair for fraternization. Oh, you're not supposed to fraternize. And she falsely reported to police she had been raped. Lebanon County jury found her guilty of 2 felony counts of illegal wiretapping, 1 count of making false claims to law enforcement in May 2025. I hadn't heard of this.
Yeah. It's. I randomly saw it on the weekend on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. And she only got 30 days in jail and
Yeah,
2
and
years
then
probation.
probation. Wow,
That's crazy, right?
it is. She should get. You know, I've heard men say that she should get the. Let's say he had been convicted of R, and sentenced to prison for, I don't know, 10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
She should get the 10 years instead of him, since she was trying to get him for that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, what's stopping any other female to do the same thing? They're like, oh, I get 30 days in jail or 2 years probation if they figure out that it is not true or false allegation. But most of the time, the guy gets convicted, even though
Yeah.
you will see the lie, right?
I don't know, but it's difficult to prove they're lying. I can tell you that much. Other than that, when she's crying.
But in a case where they're both intoxicated, the guy will get the charge and he will get the jail
That's so
time.
crazy to me, isn't it?
So that's the crazy thing, right?
It's really crazy because a woman cannot consent if she's been, I don't know which one this is. It might not be any of these gals, okay? Okay, if a woman can't consent, then he can't either. You know what I mean? But the point of, like, you halfway have to be intoxicated, meaning have some type of drug like an alcohol in your system to go to that level with a person. Anyway, what a mess.
Yeah,
It
but
depends on how far gone you are. If you're like blackout drunk or unconscious, literally unconscious, then obviously that's taking advantage of somebody. That's not right. I don't know if I would call it R. Maybe it's R, but at least it's taking advantage. It's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, sex out of wedlock, period, is wrong. Doesn't seem right anyway. Anyway.
I think if you're gonna jail one, you should jail both because
right.
They know what they went out to do and to take advantage of each other. So
yep.
Give them both the jail time.
Nice. Right? Yeah, and kick them out of the military. That's what the mess is with putting women in the same workplace with men. They're gonna get together. They're gonna fraternize, and then you get in trouble for fraternizing.
Yeah, he lost his pension too.
Whoa.
Unfortunate, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he kind of deserved that because he fraternized.
Yes, that is true. He does. It's his fault. That is very true.
Just because you were seduced doesn't mean that just reflects poorly. Although you were to lose your pension over that, I don't know, because your pension is the money that you worked for retiring, and you lose it over that. I'm not sure
but it might have been it might have been in his contract, right? Because
yeah,
that's the thing.
Right. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do it without some type of writing, something down in writing.
Yeah. Listen to the woman, you suffer for it.
Indeed. Wow. Thank you for the story.
Yeah, there's this other story with, David Goggins, right?
I heard of him.
You might have seen this one. His daughter, I forgot how old she is now, but she came out and called him a deadbeat dad.
Wow. What an evil little daughter. How old is this girl?
I forgot.
Brainwashed.
I forgot how old she is. But she's close to her teens now. And
so she's not necessarily a teenager yet? She's still...
I don't quote me on this. I don't remember her age. But she's not young and she's not old.
Yeah.
That I remember. But he pulled up a receipt and saying that he always paid child support to his daughter. And he was telling the story that his daughter has hatred towards him because of the mother. The mother turned the daughter against her.
Yep.
Against him. And I'm like, fair enough. I mean, it is true because he paid child support and supported her, and she just hates him because of the mother's hate towards him. It's kind of interesting to see because JLP talks about this all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so according
yeah.
to Google AI, he had an estranged daughter named Jade from a previous relationship. And he admitted to having a daughter who was 21 years old at the time. So this is a young woman. The world, in 2023, she claimed on social media he had not been involved in her life for over 7 years. That's understandable. Who knows? The 2024 podcast with Chris Williamson. I've heard of that guy, a competitor of mine, you might say. Goggins briefly mentioned his daughter, confirmed they did not have a close relationship. Jay's 2023 post called her father selfish and a liar, which is meaningless because who's not selfish and a liar, and stated that he had nothing to do with me. I wouldn't either. With that attitude, young lady. Goggins' 2025 public statement addressing the so-called controversy, as if it's anybody else's business, that the relationship had created a bad environment, meaning with the relationship with the mother, I guess. I could imagine. He explained he had his daughter at a young age when he was in the worst possible place in his life. He evolved and improved. His ex-partner, meaning ex-girlfriend, and daughter did not want to share his journey. So, it takes two to tango, young lady. It's horrible. What a mess. That's just mess, you know? Right? I think.
Yeah, he was saying that he got a little famous because it was all over doing podcasts and stuff. And they think because he was doing podcasts, he was making a lot of more money.
Okay.
And you know when you break up with a woman and now she sees you all over the place on the internet, some resentment and hate is gonna come up and
right.
Be like, I want more money now. So it's crazy, man. Like when you don't notice that you're doing things the wrong way and you end up have to just suffer for it, or your daughter have to suffer it in the end.
Right.
It's interesting to see though.
He's black. Oh, here's the gal who she looks awfully young. This Middleton woman who faced 30 days for falsely reporting.
Oh yeah, she looks. I mean, her name sounds like she's Latina or Colombian.
Yeah, although with the K, I don't understand the K. Veronika with a K. Anyway, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
interesting. Well, thank you for the tips, news tips.
Yeah, man, no worries.
Good to hear from you.
All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your show, Hake.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. I better get back to that popcorn super chat. As it relates to race and employment, Popcorn's thump keg with his coffee. You've had a lot to say in response to my coffees, and some of them seem contradictory. My last crack at it is the following. You've had callers who say, paraphrasing, this isn't the 60s anymore. Companies don't care about your race. They just care if you can do the job. You didn't get it because you didn't have the experience. You agreed and said it was terrible that black people are brainwashed to believe otherwise. But at other times, you've defended companies discriminating against black applicants, calling it risk assessment, or saying, can you blame them? Those seem like opposite positions, claims Popcorn. If companies truly don't care about race, then discrimination wouldn't exist or need defending, claims he. And if discrimination is happening and is justified, then race clearly still matters in hiring. How do you reconcile those two positions? I know you believe discrimination in hiring is fine, but that just proves my point. If companies can hire based on race, then race does matter. You can't claim it doesn't and also defend discrimination at the same time. Even if you say it's not race per se, but behavior associated with a race, quote unquote, you're still treating race as a factor in hiring. If behavior were truly the only factor, you wouldn't make generalizations about black applicants as a group. You'd evaluate each person individually. How can you justify generalizations about a racial group and still claim race doesn't matter? Asks Popcorn. You seem like you're contradicting yourself, Popcorn. Are you really playing this dumb? Popcorn? The only reason that race matters in your mind is because the race matters in your mind. The only reason that race matters in your mind is because you have a black mindset that's just living in denial or playing dumb, or what? Are you pretending not to know that per capita, maybe more than that, maybe more than just per capita, blacks have a black mindset. You're swimming in your black mindset. Because blacks tend to believe in their blackness, and they tend to jump into like crying racism all the time when there's a problem. So you already know, based on experience with maybe tens of individuals in your life, or hundreds or thousands, and many others see it as well, that they're going to end up being a problem. They're going to think black. They're going to cry racism like a black. They're going to not have the right attitude, not have the right work ethic. Some of them will work hard, and then they'll get bitter that they're not appreciated. They'll feel disrespected because they're thinking black. They believe in being black, and they don't believe in right and wrong. They think that they're believing in right and wrong. They think that they're an individual. But this is a risk. You don't realize that generalizations factor into a risk? I don't know, man. It doesn't have to do with race, except that the blacks are so into their race and lost in their anger that they can't see. It becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, there's racism everywhere. You're making it happen. You're bringing it upon yourself. What a mess. How can you justify generalizations about a so-called racial group and still claim race doesn't matter? Because this racial group is all into their race. Duh. It's not us that's into the race, it's you that's into the race. Crazy. Popcorn. Come on, man. Get a life. To quote Joe Biden. What a mess. And then you can pick up if an individual might be all right, but all too often you get stung for trusting. If anything, whites are too trusting and too anti-discrimination. You better be discriminating in terms of, profiling a person. I knew a Mexican guy who refused to give money to homeless people. In general, he would look them over and see if they really needed it, and then he would give sometimes. But he would eye them. He would look them over. You give off way more than you realize. And then these blacks think, oh, it's because I'm black. Black-hearted, black mindset. You have no idea how much you're giving off as a person. The vibes that you're giving off. People can see right through you. So it's not right. So it doesn't mean the race doesn't matter. It only matters because it matters to you. What a mess. But yes, you should have, even aside from that, it is a basic right to discriminate for any reason whatsoever. Why would you want somebody to be forced to hire you or to serve you who doesn't want to, against their will? That's not love. That's not Christian. That's not freedom. What a mess. But thank you, popcorn, as always. Yeah, so it's not contradictory at all. It's like you have to, you're acting like you have to blind yourself to the fact that most blacks believe in being black and believe in the racism thing, and it's going to come out. And there is this anger that's given to them. And anger is blindness. Terrible. All right. Thank you, sir. Let me just double check over on Streamlabs and elsewhere. Let's get to beautiful Maze out of the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. How you doing, Maze?
Hello, James. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing marvelous as always.
Happy communist holiday from hell.
Well, if it's from hell or heaven or wherever it's from.
Yeah.
Because right here on Earth, so you down here with it, we're in hell too.
Nice.
I wanted to ask you a question.
All right.
I hope you answer it. Answer it. I hope you do. So those kids that got shot up at that church.
Yes.
Catholic.
Yes. Yep.
So they got shot up. So what do you think the ones that's still going to school there, when somebody come into that school, do they think they're going to be looking for a black person, or they going to be looking for somebody to look like them? I mean, that's going to be on their mind. It say like if something go off, or a firecracker, or somebody shoot.
Oh.
Who do you think they're going to be looking for?
Both, because Minneapolis has a black crime problem in addition.
James.
What's that?
Be honest.
I'm honest. I think they're going to be dealing with both.
In their mindset, who do they look at that came to that church and shot them up? A redheaded person look like
look like me? Did you say look like me?
Become afraid?
Sorry, I was laughing. I interrupted you. Redheaded person that looked like what?
You.
Oh, like
your
me?
Hair. Yeah.
Whatever, Mace. I resent that.
Okay. Well, you can resent it. That's your prerogative. But anyway, and then Stephen Miller, Fox and Newsmax, and all those people that Rick listened to, talking about a blue state with a red state with the people in the city that's running the mayors. You got different mayors in different parts of the same state. You got some white mayors and you got some black mayors, but we don't focus on what's going on with the Caucasian mayors. And then I want you to pull this up, since you love to hook up on your computer, and I want you to look it up so your people can understand and see it for themselves. And not that I said it. The Bureau of Prisons.
What did you say? I got lost. I'm still stuck on the Catholic shooter. You said something about the mayors?
I said no. I was saying what Rich had said. The red states. The cities are ran by black mayors.
Oh, yeah, those black Democrat-run cities, they're the ones chock full of crime because they have a lot of blacks in them, and a lot of blacks are single mothers raising criminals per capita.
So that's why I'm getting ready to take you somewhere, but I want you to let them see it with their own eyes so they can see.
What was your point about the Catholic shooter?
I said that
whites shoot people too?
I said they're not going to. No, that's not what I said. They're not going to be afraid of somebody that look like me. They're going to be afraid of somebody look like you with red hair.
That doesn't make sense.
And they still, those that's what you know why it doesn't make any sense.
Because
that's the one that shot up. Ooh.
I know, but every redheaded white young man is not a shooter. It's per capita.
I didn't say that's not what I said.
So what makes you think that you're reading the kids' minds right?
I said those kids that's there at that school.
Yeah.
I
don't even think they saw him.
They're going to be afraid. I thought they're going to be afraid of a black man coming there to shoot them up, or somebody with red hair look like you.
Because blacks shoot more in Minneapolis.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you what are they going to be afraid of.
I don't think they even saw the guy.
And saw who shot them.
I don't think they saw who shot them.
Well, he's been all over the news.
He's been over the news, but they didn't see him in person necessarily. Because he was shooting through a window from outside.
Well, that's what y'all do.
A stained glass window. That's what y'all do. Whatever, Maze.
James,
okay, so go back to the Democrat cities, the black Democrat cities, criminal cities.
They're not Democratic cities because you have in a city you have white mayors and you got black mayors. There's not only one mayor for the whole city. Just only D.C. because it doesn't have a statehood. That's why D.C.
Any given city has only one mayor.
Oh, any given city have more than one mayor.
I don't think so.
I think so.
So you think that there's multiple mayors in a city at one time?
Yes, there is.
How many mayors does Los Angeles have?
I don't know because I don't live in Los Angeles.
One. It has one mayor. It doesn't even really have one mayor because it has a woman, Karen Bass. Mays, I feel like you would be a better mayor than Karen Bass.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a mayor.
Well, that's because you're smarter than Karen Bass.
Everybody that commit crimes would be in jail.
How many mayors does Dayton, Ohio have?
You got one in. You got a mayor in maybe about 4.
4 mayors in one city?
Yeah.
You're talking about the county with multiple cities?
You got them in the suburbs and you got them in the city.
Okay, well, those are different cities.
That's what I'm trying to say. So you have the same thing.
Well, the suburbs are not usually, even if they're Democrat, they're not black, so they're not going to have as many.
Whatever. But let's get back to this crime stuff. Okay, go to the Bureau of Prisoners. Pull it up.
How am I supposed
and I want you to explain something to me.
I am Maze's slave. Bureau of Prisons.
I don't like to talk about stuff that I haven't seen myself. I want everybody else to see.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
You didn't even see those kids, and you think that the kids are going to be scared of me.
No, I asked you who would fear. Who would they fear?
I don't know because I don't know, and you don't know because you haven't seen them. You haven't even seen those kids.
They called them. They called
Bureau of Prisons. What did you want?
So, what?
Bureau of Prisons.
Well, you go look at the prisoners that look like you and the ones that look like me.
What? So the Bureau of Prisons is going to have mugshots?
Huh?
The Bureau of Prisons is going to have like mugshots of.
No, they're not going to have mugshots. They're just going to have some percentage of who's in prison, but they don't see them on the evening news.
Inmates.
And you don't see them on Fox, Newsmax, or nowhere. Unless this is for 2025, not 2021 or 22. This is for 2025. Caucasians
I see blacks. I see Hispanics.
I'll go to you and the blacks.
I'm not in the Bureau of Prisons, I don't think. Hey, look at these gals. There's a blonde gal.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these criminals.
It's 5.57%, and it's black 38%. So if 38% is black in prison and 57% is white in prison, where is it on the evening news that we don't see?
There's plenty of 57% are white Hispanic.
57. No, we're not talking about Hispanic.
Yeah. So and blacks are only 13% of the population, but they're 38% of the prisoners.
Yeah, but 52 of yours are in prison, but we don't know.
I know, but whites are 70%, 63. Whites are 63 to 70% of the population, so we're underrepresented as criminals.
I'm not talking about representation.
As convicts.
I'm saying, why don't we see them on the evening news?
You do.
And what did they do?
All kinds of different things.
We don't know it.
You don't know it, but I know it.
But then, so you always looking at a black man, a black people, you and Rick and all of the rest of them.
Because the blacks are out of control.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who said so? Who said so? Just you Caucasian?
I said it after listening to you and Popcorn.
And you said it, and what do it mean?
Crime is out of control, and you're trying to pretend like it's not.
Meaning you, Fox, and Newsmax, and Stephen Miller, and all of those people, y'all got a problem, and I would be glad when AI come and help y'all with y'all disease. That's what I mean.
So whites are criminals too. This is your whole point to this whole call.
That's not what I said. You don't even get my point.
What's your point?
They're in prison at 57%. Why don't we see at least 10% of them on the evening news like you see black people every day?
Because white crime is not as wild. White crime is not as wild and out in the open as black crime.
Why is it not in the open?
Because we shoot people behind closed doors and stuff. We rob behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors?
Yeah. We don't rob and do this kind of stuff out in the open, out of control. All our criminals are old.
No, they're not.
We're an aging population. Your criminals are like our teenagers, 12-year-olds, and 30-year-olds, and 16-year-olds, gentle giants.
And Breitbart, that's how they do over on Fox. They give y'all this to make y'all afraid of people.
What's wrong with Breitbart?
Nobody should be afraid of you.
I'm not afraid. It's practical fear.
In prison, nobody should be afraid and nobody should care because we don't even see it on their show.
It's practical fear,
Mace. Huh?
It's practical fear.
I'm waiting for you to give me an answer to why 57% are in there and tell us why.
Because
And we never see them.
Because they committed crimes.
Really?
Yep.
But their crimes are not to be told.
They are told. Why are you acting like white crime is never reported?
You're saying that 57% is not supposed to be televised, but everybody else is shooting.
If they're in prison, it's old news already.
They had to go to prison for some reason.
Right.
So we don't know why they went.
You don't know, but the people that are in prison, they know.
You don't have people on the evening news like Rick, so lost, thinking everything that Fox and Breitbart I have to say but he let them explain.
Maze, blacks tend to commit crimes that's caught on camera, ring camera, security camera, cell phone camera. They document their own crimes.
This is 2025.
Just because you're mad that they're showing off how criminal they are.
No. I'm asking you a question.
What?
You can't answer it.
What question is it?
The 57%. Why don't we see them on the evening news every day?
Because it's already old news. I already answered your question like 3 times.
Maybe then y'all will catch up with the stupidity that y'all come out with all the time about black people.
What stupidity is that?
Black people commit crime. Black people do this, and you're showing it in the news every day, on and on, every day. Every day you see that. But you don't see nobody else's crime. So what would you think a child would do? Just like those kids at that school, when they see a redhead come by,
Maze, do you realize that blacks are more shameless than the other races in committing crimes openly?
No. Where you get that from?
Looking around, common experience. Have you seen them? They smoke pot more openly. They sell drugs more openly.
Really?
They hit people more openly and frequently. By the way, not just openly, but frequently. They steal more openly.
You sounding like Breitbart.
No, I'm sounding like the truth.
Yeah, let's put it out there so they can be afraid. Everything else.
Do you actually read Breitbart?
What?
Do you actually read Breitbart?
I listen to Breitbart, yes, and he's crazy too. I need to give him something.
Are you aware that Andrew Breitbart died 13 years ago, Maze?
What?
Andrew Breitbart died in like 2012.
No, Breitbart is died, but the person that took his place, what's his name?
Steve Bannon?
Who? Steve Bannon didn't take his place.
Yeah, he did. He was running Breitbart for a while.
The other guy that comes out with all this
Ben Shapiro?
Believing.
Ben Shapiro? He was in Breitbart for a while.
Ben Shapiro. The one with the funny sound, the boy sound like a duck.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay, so you don't even know nothing about him. You just following him.
No, I'm not following anybody. I only read CNN. And AP.
But I'm saying, Breitbart died over what? Did he, like Rush Limbaugh died from drugs? What are you talking about, druggies? Let's get it straight now.
What? What's your point?
Get your history right. Didn't Rush Limbaugh die from drugs?
No. No, Rush Limbaugh did not die from drugs, I don't think.
He was an addict. So was Elvis Presley.
Yeah, but he got past his addiction.
And so was Elvis Presley. So what are you talking about?
Doesn't make him a criminal.
In the dark. And a whole lot of them died from drugs.
Right.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
These prisons.
You're all over the place, Maze.
No, I'm in the same spot. I'm asking you to explain to me why you got 57% of the Caucasians in prison, but we don't know anything about it.
57% of the Caucasians are not in prison.
Hey, out of that 38%, we know
57% of the prisoners, the federal prisoners, may be white or maybe white Hispanic too.
Not federal. I didn't say federal. I said
you
prison.
said Bureau of Prisons. I think is that federal or everything? State.
Who said it had to be federal? So that's why I'm wondering.
I don't know. I don't trust you. You're not a reliable source.
But
you're
James,
you're very sloppy. You're almost as bad as Tony.
I'm asking you a question.
What?
Out of the 38% of blacks, you know why they are in prison because you see it on the evening news. But at the 57%, we don't know why they are in there.
Yeah, huh?
I'm trying to say you to open your eyes.
You can look into them.
And
in fact, probably it's listed what they were convicted of.
I want you to do it so you can help the ill and uninformed.
I don't need to do
anything. So you don't
anything.
have to listen to Fox.
That's ridiculous.
And all of those people. And Stephen Miller.
Are you ill and uninformed?
No, I'm not.
How do you know?
Because I watch what I eat. And I watch what my soul being fed to my soul. And it's not hatred.
Touche.
Stupidity and blame. I'm just asking you a question that you can't even answer.
But I already answered it. It's old news.
And not old news. This is 2025.
No, it's old news. If they're in prison,
anything somebody question you about is old news.
Maze, you're in Dayton. I don't watch the evening news. Do you watch the evening news?
So you watch CNN.
No, I don't watch CNN. I'd read it in the morning.
Well, whichever way you
I get
switch your
morning news, and I don't hear about anything.
Oh, now you don't hear about nothing.
Yeah,
You
all
don't
I
know.
hear is about Trump. And
Maybe Mark can tell us about it since he's so into to penetrate.
But you're not very bright, Maze. You're just trying to play some gotcha.
No, I'm not bright. No, I'm not bright. I don't want to be in that category.
All right.
So you have a good one, and maybe Mark can explain that 57% why we don't see it on the evening news and how they got there.
Okay. All right. Take care.
That 38%, we already know why he know they are there, but we want to know about the 57%.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Nice.
some of those screaming and them spoiled brats and stuff can help you out. But stop listening to Breitbart and all of those people.
I'm not going to stop anything.
Well, no, you don't have to stop, but use your brain when they come out with you with this fear tactic. That's all it is a fear tactic.
Oh, okay.
Because, Obama didn't do nothing to you. Biden didn't do nothing to you. None of those people did anything to you. And I'm wondering the one you got in the White House now, what is he doing for you?
He's doing an amazing job cleaning up the crime, sending the illegals back, closing the border, bringing peace on earth, goodwill towards men, being a great example, and working as a 78-year-old or something like that.
If you're sending people back,
what
over
a
the
true
border.
American hero.
Okay, to you it is.
Sending people back what?
That's your opinion. If you're cleaning up the country and sending people back, who's on the border?
What do you mean who's on the border? The Border Patrol are on the border.
Oh, there's no reason to be painting the border and all that stuff.
You know what I heard? You know what? Something funny that I heard from Drudge Report. They Trump haters, but I heard that when they painted the wall black, it actually is cooler. It's not as hot as just a raw metal.
Who are they making it cooler for?
For the illegals to climb the fence. It's not as hot because they were going to paint it black so it'd be hot to the touch, but the paint is cooler than the metal. The paint is basically like a insulator for their hands.
When is the last time you heard somebody coming across the border, James?
Obama, Biden.
Obama been gone, so you still hanging on
Biden
to Obama.
Yes, I'm still hanging on. You know I'm still hanging on to Obama.
Those are hate tactics.
Did you know that Biden was Obama?
It's a hate tactic, too.
Hate tactic?
They're gone.
He's not gone.
They're not in the White House anymore.
Thank God. But you asked me when the last time was that people were crossing, and that was Obama, which is Biden.
That's right, and the one that's there now was supposed to stop all of this. So when is the last time somebody came across the border?
Trump stopped it.
He stopped it?
It went from a few thousand every month or so, or weeks, to like a few hundred.
So now that you say he stopped it, why do you need a border? To be spending money on it, painting it, and all that stuff. Hello?
Say that again? Why do you need a border?
You need and on the border and all of that if nobody's coming across it?
Because, hey, hot computer smell. Hey, what's up?
But anyway,
Maze. Of course, you need to keep a border because just because we stopped them coming doesn't mean they're gonna not start again when the Democrat gets back in.
Oh, well, I'm not discussing. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying the person that's supposed to stop the border crossing, nobody's crossing, but you're still talking about the border.
Yeah, because it's an issue, and you have to deport the illegals.
Okay.
You don't know that?
No.
Oh.
So you can't go across to somebody else's border, and nobody can come across to yours because this world is messed up. And Biden and Obama and none of the ones behind them messed it up.
Yeah, they did. Big time.
Oh, in your man.
Yeah.
Not in man.
No, they contributed to the mess. They didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. But they contributed to the fire. They fed flame. They fed fuel, hate, as you mentioned, and fear, as you mentioned. Obama and Biden fed hate and fear to the blacks and the Democrats and the Tea Party.
That's the tactic y'all run on is hate and fear.
Right.
But you act like you act godly. So I have one more question for you.
Okay.
What have changed for you in America besides the person that's in the White House now do more business overseas than they do over here in this country?
It's very heartwarming that
first he went with Saudis, then he started
what
giving him a plane.
What has changed for me is my heart is smiling now.
Who's smiling?
My heart is. Well, that's what's changed for me.
One day it will.
Yep.
And we will see, one day your heart will smile and you'll see how free you are.
Thank you. It's fun hearing from you, beautiful Maze.
Well, I'll talk to you later. For those that don't
so I look like the Catholic school shooter, and you look like the original.
No, that's not what I'm saying. See, you don't have any. That's what I yeah.
And you look like the original Statue of Liberty.
Yes, I do. So that's why I asked you to pull it up so they can see it, and they can make themselves their own man. But this fear tactic is gonna go away because everybody don't believe in it. So tell Rick, the blue states, he don't know what he's talking about when it comes to the red states or the blue state because they're one of a kind.
That's right.
Well, have a good one.
You too, Maze. Take care. The original Statue of Liberty. This is what Maze looks like. Told you she's beautiful. And where's me? This is what I look like. Terrible. I look like a confused transgender regret transgender thing. School shooter with a 1,000-yard stare. All right. Back to the calls. Rick in Hampton, VA. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, good afternoon, James. What's going on with you, man?
Not too much. How about
great
you?
Labor Day weekend. Fine. I ain't even expect y'all to be live today.
I know. Yeah, we're live every Labor Day, but the office is closed, so we get a half day, if you will.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought it because I saw just, oh man, they on for Labor Day.
Yep.
But man, I'm glad y'all had a good weekend, good church service. Start the Labor Day weekend off, and I just want to comment on Stephen from Maryland. He coming on Friday. That me, William, and Megatron was the biggest coons when he was.
Gregatron, not Megatron. He got it wrong.
Oh, was it that? Because I hear him on the show. So is it Megatron?
No, it's Gregatron.
Gregatron. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Gregatron.
Oh, Gregatron. Okay,
Yep.
That's cool. But he called us out, and I just want to say, for the most part, when I say things, you can look at it and find out yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's very verifiable information.
That's a fact.
Like me. She can go right off and go to the red states and find out where all the crime is committed.
Yeah, she didn't really debunk anything that you said. The red states that are so crime-ridden are crime-ridden in blue cities, black cities, really.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And just the way it is what it is, man. I mean,
it's a fact.
And like I just tell people, you want to help not only just blacks, but anybody, you have to help them spiritually first, man. Because a lot of people, dealing with anger and stuff, man. We just had an incident, man. My friend might tell me he had an incident at his job. He does security. One of the security guys lost his wallet.
Okay.
And a guy found his wallet, and he turned the wallet in, but the money was gone.
Ooh.
So he said he turned it in. He said, "Hey, where my money at?" The guy said it was empty when he gave him the wallet.
Right.
So
somebody took it and then left the wallet.
Right. Now, what they did, the security company rolled the whole camera from the time he dropped his wallet and to now. Now, no one came to pick up the wallet, and he just turned. Now, there's a possibility he probably could have took the money and just brought the wallet back, but there's no proof of that. And
right.
Now, the guy that turned in the wallet was white, and the security guy that dropped was black. So he goes out and assault the man to the point they told him to go to the hospital.
Whoa.
And he overreacted to his anger.
Yeah.
And now it's like with the $30, you're gonna harm somebody over $30.
That's crazy. And the guy may not have been guilty of anything. He may not even have taken anything.
Yeah, he probably didn't take anything.
Yeah.
Because sometimes $30. He could have done the way I would have looked at it. Hey, he done a great deed for me, man. Because man, by the time it takes you to get all your IDs and stuff back, you got to wait, you got to make appointments.
Right.
Man, you can make $30 just winking your eye nowadays. $30 don't get you far no way anyway.
Yeah. Right.
So the guy lost his job, the one that did the assault, as a result of him overreacting.
Right. Totally.
And I just really believe the public schools, and they teach blacks to have this sort of offensiveness when it comes to whites. Even when whites disagree with blacks, they call it racism.
Right.
And it can be something legitimately they disagree with.
Definitely.
You know. And
Interesting. People get way into their heads, Rick. People, you see something, and your mind interprets it, and it fills in the blanks. And depending on how charitable you're feeling toward the person, it'll tell you horrible things, or it'll tell you great things, and you're not supposed to interpret. Right. You're not supposed to interpret people like that, because you're just in your head. Because you're just in your head. It goes
to controlling your thought.
Yep.
Don't respond to all thoughts. Do what's right.
Women have that bad. They will interpret somebody as so good.
Oh,
they're like constantly trying to judge a person. It's crazy. And I get it.
Especially
I relate.
Liberal women.
I was a woman at one point.
Most of them operate on their emotions and feelings anyway, to be truly honest.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, a lot of the stuff, I always just tell them when they call me, I just say, well, just prove me wrong. I mean, it ain't even about proving me wrong. I just want you to go research it yourself. And not only that, a lot of times you can just see what's going on.
Yeah. That's a fact.
You know, you can just see what's going on. You can see what's going on, man, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, and then CNN, they listen, and, you know, we listen to mainstream media, keep us in the dark. Like all these black activists, the only thing they do is just hope that blacks stay aggravated so they can continue making money off of them selling these books.
Right.
They're not starving nothing. Nothing but still them trying to just make everybody take every Confederate soldier now. How's that going to help the black community?
It won't. It won't help
them at all.
In fact, it'll hurt them. It'll only aggravate the issue because they'll pretend that the Confederates were such bad people when the Confederates were their best friends or are their best friends.
Just like Hitler there, James. Here's what he done. They just showed us history. That's just what Hitler done. You need to know one thing I learned about the Bible. It tells all the characters, good or bad.
You're getting a lot of background noise there, Rick.
Oh, yeah. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just stay close to your phone.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
it's just the Bible tells all the characters.
Yeah.
Good or bad, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, good or bad. And it tells them all the characters that was involved.
Right.
It's
not even necessarily saying that these guys were right.
Exactly. It just tells you what happened. It names all the characters.
Horrible things, too.
The slave trade. They never... I don't know why they don't like to call Africa and the Arab world out.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Britain was trying to stop Africa from slave trading, but you never hear black activists talk about it.
Right.
The Arabs had slaves longer. You never hear them talk about that.
That's right. And what's so bad about slavery anyway?
Everybody been enslaved, James.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like even Joseph. He had to forgive his brother for them selling him to the Ishmaelites.
That's right.
Everybody's been enslaved.
Yeah.
Egypt enslaved God's people for 400 years.
It's just a bunch of history propaganda.
Yeah, and that's it. And according to God, the scriptures, the Egyptians were very brutal to the Israelites. So, I don't think brutal means kindness, if you will.
Yeah. I don't think so.
And everybody.
It was so bad that Moses killed an Egyptian guy who was mistreating a Hebrew slave.
That's right.
Crazy.
That's right. You don't hear them talk about it.
Yeah. He had to run into hiding.
I was talking. You hear, well, blacks were discriminated, red line, all that. Okay, you hear that, but my thing is, why blacks can build a lot of their businesses back like they did back in the 60s.
True.
It's not hard to buy a house. You just got to be in position to buy a house. If your credit bad, ain't nobody gonna loan you $200,000 or $300,000 in your credit, and they know you won't pay them back.
That's right. Totally. Rick, I got to keep it moving, man. It's good to hear from you.
You too, James. Well, love you guys. Be blessed. Thanks for taking my call. Happy Labor Day.
All right. You as well, man. Take care.
Okay.
Bye. Alex in California is on the line over here. Alex, thanks for calling, man, and holding.
Peaky Bear.
Hey.
That was a nice little surprise. I was just wrapping up what I'm doing, hopped on YouTube, and wasn't expecting you guys to be around, but
nice.
You're here.
Yeah, it seems like I'm busier now because today because people have the day off, so that's cool.
So I had a few things. One pro tip, if you're clearing out your phone of old stuff that you don't need anymore and you're just going on a deleting spree,
yes.
Make sure to double, triple check that you're not deleting the stuff that you're currently working on.
Oh, brutal.
And make sure you back up your stuff.
Back up your phone.
Back up your stuff you're working on.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, just a little handy-dandy pro tip. So I had to redo an entire project right now. Wasn't that bad, but shouldn't have had to do that.
Yeah, double work.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to kind of dig a little rabbit hole for people to crawl down into and nestle around and look at.
All right.
That shooter the other day at the Catholic school or whatever church.
Yes.
They're saying that he was into something called Group 764. Have you heard of this at all?
No.
So it's allegedly like an internet group that does like blackmail to teenagers and kids.
Oh.
They'll get like inappropriate pictures of the kids sent to them, and then they'll do really, really nasty stuff. I don't know how far I want to go into saying it, but they'll make them do things to their pets and to themselves, and hurt other beings basically.
Wow.
Or they release they say they're going to release the inappropriate pictures. So if you can understand, that's kind of it's pretty bad predicament right there. So they're saying that he or she, whatever, was into that, and then that's also linked to the Order of Nine Angles, which is like the real deal satanic, like Luciferian stuff. And I looked into that a little bit for some lyrical subject matter, and I was pretty disgusted at what they're all about. They're really, really abhorrent, just dirty, disgusting people. Like everything they do is to be anti-God.
That's the group of Nine Angles something?
Yeah. And I was looking into some of their spells and their rituals and stuff, and it's just everything you can imagine that's awful in the world, all in a,
They're calling these
together.
things Nazi Satanist groups.
Yeah, so that's the other part I wanted to...
Okay.
2 cents. I don't think it's... I mean, you know how everything gets lumped into right-wing and Nazi.
Right.
I think it's just because some of the occult stuff and some of the symbolism was probably used or incorporated by the Nazis, but stuff that's been around before them. And, I mean, how many right-wing, neo-Nazi, extreme right-wing guys are, into Satan and stuff? It just doesn't really ring true to me. That's like a liberal thing.
True. Good point. Yeah.
So yeah, just stuff to look at if anyone's interested in that.
The one right-wing Satanist I know one, and he's not even close to being pro-Nazi. He's just like he loves Fox News, but they hate him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he left the church satanic temple or whatever because they're dumb liberals, SJWs.
Yeah.
So
they totally are.
Yeah.
Bunch of gay liberal stuff.
Right.
Literally. I'm not even joking.
No, I know that.
So, and that's kind of that's the biggest turnoff for me right there is the evil gay stuff.
Yeah.
So getting to my main point, I was just watching a podcast on the way up here, one of your competitors, and he was interviewing a priest or minister guy who goes to colleges, and he debates and discusses with the college kids. I forget his name, but he's been doing it for a long time. Real skinny guy with gray hair. You've probably seen it, and I actually do enjoy a lot of what he says. But there was something there that was just screaming out liberal to me, and I got really turned off by it. And it had to do with every time he was bringing up black people, he kept saying African American And then the way he would say like racism, you could tell he had this vehement hatred towards racist white men.
Yeah.
And every time he'd say the word racist, he'd go, racist, you know, he'd throw some gain on there.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is this dude's problem? Like, can't you just say like racist? Why do you have racist? You know, it's like you have a real issue with these people apparently. And your competitor kind of lightly pushed back and said, you know, like racism, if that's even a real thing or whatever.
Nice.
But the guy didn't really reply to that. So my feeling and the thought that came out to me was, you know, this guy's going on and on about racism, and he's calling people African American. He's talking about equality and all this crap. Like, if you believe in racism, then how do you believe in equality? I don't think that goes together. What are your thoughts on that?
If you believe that there is racism, then you cannot believe in equality?
Correct.
I think that makes sense because I don't think anybody actually believes in equality, truly. Because if you believe
when I say that, I mean like equal, like we're all God's creation.
Oh, you might.
That's the way he's using it.
Interesting. It is a sort of the notion of the belief in racism, belief that racism is real, is sort of an anti-God thing. It's sort of like it was pushed by the communists, which is anti-God, because you're believing that somebody has the power to hold somebody else down, and we need to fix that. Hamstring the well-off and the powerful to uplift the supposedly weak. And meanwhile, it's just exploitation of anger and envy.
I mean, just real simply, like if you believe that there's different races, then you can't believe that we're all like one equal race, because you're separating and categorizing people. It just doesn't. It seems so simple.
That's true too. But some people believe in racism, but think there's only one race, the human race, and racism is believing in other races, and that's why we shouldn't believe in other races. It's scientifically very indistinguishable. There are people like that. Then ridiculous.
There's no difference between a Swiss person and a South African or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of disappointing when you see someone who's like so close, but then they just drop the ball on one thing that's like so obvious. And I don't know, it just reminds me of like Trump and the vaccine.
What was he close on?
Basically kind of the same messaging like you and Jesse are on about like dropping anger.
Yeah.
The main Christian points that you guys spout.
Yeah.
The good ones. But he I think it's like someone didn't tell him that the Arabs sold the blacks to the whites and the Jews and all that stuff, and he thinks it's just all white people still or whatever. I don't know how people are still like that.
I think that people are like there's like normies out there. The way that you describe it, it almost sounds like he's performing when he's angry about racism.
Yeah. That's why I was like, what is this guy's problem? Racism.
I don't know. Or he has like some black friends or a black wife or something like that, where
there's some white guilt in there for whatever reason. And I'm like, you don't really need to have that. And I don't know. It's just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't think that if you believe in racism that you believe in equality. It's a hypocrisy in my eyes.
I think that's true.
And that's just an example. I think we talked about it last time, is even quote unquote right-wing Christians can be raging liberals.
I don't believe in equality, but I believe in treating everybody as equals, if that makes sense.
Yes, that does.
Yeah.
You respect everyone equally, unless they, have done
spiritual equals. So obviously, some people are more talented and to be respected on a practical level much further than others.
Yeah. And I mean, this guy, I'll let you go in a second here. This guy's pretty on point. Like I would say he's not far beyond your guy's level. Like he was pissing people off by saying you got to forgive the PDFs and stuff like that.
Nice.
Explaining how everybody gets forgiveness, even Mr. H. And
right on.
He gets it, but there's just the black thing he doesn't get. So it's bugging me.
Anyway, what's interesting is like nobody can really relate to the racists, meaning like they weren't racist ever, or if they were just angry and they've traded one judgment for another. Because there's a lot of racists who turn anti-racist. I mean, not a lot, but there's a few who used to be sort of KKK or neo-Nazis or whatever. And then they turn anti-racist, and they're just these cringeworthy liberals.
Oh yeah, they got to go on their little quest to.
They just
destroy.
They just switched to their judging.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. People check out that group 764 and the Order of Nine Angles. It's pretty horrendous stuff.
And it's real. And
it is real.
They trick young people into thinking that they have naked pictures of them having AI sex and go do this act, or else we're gonna blackmail you or send us money.
Do something terrible to your cat or your dog, or we're gonna send us money.
That's wild.
Pretty terrible stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the rabbit hole.
Yep.
Evil world.
All right, guys, take it easy.
All right, you too. Bye. Wow. Okay, so we're at a. Make sure you do catch American Anchor, baby. Coming up shortly here. I got a bunch of. As Kevin Howe mentioned in the chat, I'm swimming in coffees. My goodness. Okay, so let's open up this. So I read the race and employment thing. Renesio. Mr. Hake, I was brooding last night and realized even though we all experienced death constantly as we change, then we're reborn, there is no end. We're eternal. Even when we become spirit, there's another rock to push uphill. What you think? I don't know, man. It's interesting what you said. We all experience death constantly as we change, meaning like meaning physically death or spiritually. Because I was thinking physically. My body's totally remade from what it was 7 years ago. I heard. Every 7 years, all your cells are new. I heard, but I don't know if that's true. And these new cells are all old. Terrible. Okay. Oh, by the way, I saw a Rumble rant from NightwaveRadio. Hey, man, hope you're doing well. Thank you, NightwaveRadio. Nice to see you. Mersh of NightwaveRadio. I know him from NightwaveRadio, but he was also on The Fallen State alongside his co-host of his other show. Man, let's see. Mersh, and somebody... Revenge of the Sis. There we go. With Royce. Right on. Right on. Yeah, I was thinking about you earlier, Mersh. NightwaveRadio. Check him out on Rumble. Carver bought a coffee. Hey, Hake, nice to see you covering the great Woody Allen, one of our finest Jews, and perhaps the original victim of #MeToo. Yeah, that was during the Me Too movement. We're a day late for Men's History Month, but quick rundown of the drama is he worked with and unfortunately dated Frank Sinatra's psycho devil-worshipping ex-wife, who was one of those crazy Hollywood types and adopted like 10-plus kids from the S-hole countries around the world. Allegedly, she collected the kids but didn't really have any interest in raising them. A custody dispute over her and Woody's child resulted in her accusing him of terrible things. Oh, yeah. Yeah, women do that when they're in divorce. I remember one of Trump's ex-wives accused him of stuff in divorce. And then decades later, the CNN or somebody tried to bring it up, and she's like, oh, no, I was just mad. I didn't mean that. I love him. Anyway, in his cancellation, they were all proven false in court in his cancellation. While it is true he eventually married one of Mia's many, many adopted children, not one of his, Mia Farrow. Yeah, Ronan Pharaoh looks just like Frank Sinatra, but he's supposedly Woody Allen's kid? Ronan Farrow, who was also he was like one of the original Me Too guys who went after Weinstein. Father. Woody Allen, supposedly. But you look at Frank Sinatra, it looks just like Ronan Farrow. He doesn't look anything like Woody Allen. The world. There's Frank Sinatra. What a Chad, huh? And there's Ronan Farrow. But I wouldn't bet my life on it. Crazy, huh? Interesting. Okay. So thank you, Carver. They've been married for almost 40 years and continue to make great movies to this day, even if they are no longer welcome in evil, lamestream Hollywood. Is Mia Farrow still alive? Mia Farrow is. Okay, yeah, she exists. That's a shame that that feels like she did something to her face to make herself not right. Just be old. Just be old. You know, this doesn't look right. It's too tight. She was pretty as a younger gal. Watch. See? No. See that? Look at that. Ugh. Well, I don't know what that is. And then Woody Allen wife. Real quick. Soon Yi, married in 97. Yeah, Asian. My friends went to New York and he saw her, saw him too. Funny. All right. Thank you, Carver. Looking out. Cesar Caesar 3 coffee sub. Hake, so you had a list of 100 favorite Jews, possibly 1,000. Laughing face with tears. You sure love the small hats, man. I'm joking. Your boy Woody was accused of abusing his then wife's adopted daughter, but was never convicted. I do find it strange. He then gets with the daughter of his then wife. Pretty weird, man. I guess it's adopted. I don't know. Or something. Pretty weird, man, because it almost validates these abuse allegations. That's why you shouldn't bring in stepchildren or stepparents, because it's not your blood. And so there's more abuse. Not that Woody actually did anything that I know of, but maybe I'm just in my imagination. On another note regarding the Trinity debate, there is this reference in the end history / judgment day, Matthew 24:36. But of that day and the hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. Wouldn't this imply that Jesus is not God? Have a wonderful week, everyone. Thank you, Cesar or Caesar. Popcorn's Thump Keg. Here, let me stamp this one. Popcorn's Thump Keg. Hard to give off a vibe on a resume, but okay. Yeah, that's right, because a lot of times they did this experiment where black name resumes didn't get picked, but white name resumes supposedly did. And I find that understandable. The black names gives off a vibe. My takeaway is that you admit discrimination happens and you're fine with it. Yes, discrimination is supposed to happen. It always happens. That's okay, but disingenuous to hold that position and also you say that black people are lying when they are saying that they're being discriminated against. They are being discriminated against, justly, oftentimes. Or it's justifiable. You should agree with discrimination. If you're undiscriminating, then you're indiscriminate. It's not good to be indiscriminate. Lastly, you just can't slap per capita on everything and make it valid, LOL. Yes, huh? Because per capita, blacks are getting more attitude per capita. They bring more, you know this. I know, it's funny. It's partly shtick, but it's the plain truth, man. I never said discrimination doesn't happen, but they pretend that it's about race, simply about race, when in reality, there's nothing simple about their being into their race, which was which causes problems. Terry bought a coffee. The trans shooter was a transgender. Check the roots. This crime was not done by a cisgender person. Meaning it was not real redheaded? Man. I don't know. I think you might be giving me fake news. I disclaimed Terry's chat, but thank you. Coffee. Sion says, you like chicken? If so, you like the white meat or dark? Jesse likes white meat on the chicken. I don't think he likes that on another form, just on chicken. Then I'm still being Delilah, investigating. I don't know. I heard that dark meat chicken is better for you. It has more nutrients. I am not picky. I don't really know the difference. Eric, there was a running event Saturday by my house, running emojis, where the black men wore Black Men Run shirts, and the women wore Black Women Run shirts. If you perceive everything you do through a racial identity, of course you're going to say everything is racist because you are what you hate. JLP. Yeah. You hate racism, you become racist. That's why blacks are more racist per capita. Is that a nice message for Popcorn? Because the blacks think in terms of black? The Confederates were actually good friends to the blacks. Rick offers zero pushback, so Hake pushes the envelope. They are. What's wrong with slavery? It wasn't so bad. Rick pauses. Maybe a bridge too far even for Rick. Don't read in. You're reading into it. And how were Confederates the best friends of black people? They were their friends, their family, their Confederates, their masters, their family. Why talk about people outlawing slavery or it being on its way out if it wasn't so bad? Wild stuff. It also wasn't that good. It's basically, as the great American historian Dinesh D'Souza said, it was basically socialism. Because some of the slaves did great work, and some of them did lesser work, and they all got the same housing. But some got to stay in the house. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't think that Rick even took anything with it, for or against. There was this story of these actors in like China or something. I heard this story. It's not on the internet. I heard it. And two generations from two different generations. One gave the other some tips. And these actors were deep, both of them. Became very well known in their own generations and in their own right. One from a prior era, the other from a more recent era. And they had fans and super fans, and they didn't like any of their fans. They only liked each other. They're the only two friends that each other really had in the world. And one got accused by some fans of being mentored by the older one. But he wasn't mentored. He got some tips, worked with them like one time, and ran with it, made it his own. Made the acting his own. And the people were in their heads about it. Meanwhile, all along, behind the scenes, not talked about, not even known, they were friends, the best of friends. But they wouldn't talk about each other publicly. And that, I say that as an example that you have no clue what's really going on with people. But people think that they know. I told this story before. There was a girl comes to church, or used to come to church, and you know how I have crazy eyes, right? So I looked at her, and she's like, "Oh, I better get my donation out or something," because I collect the donations after church with the credit card thing. And I wasn't thinking that at all. And another time, Anchor Baby thought that there was something in my voice when it wasn't. So people really don't know, but they think their minds tell them, and they're convinced. People judging but having no clue and believing what's their impression of what happened. People don't have a clue. And more. And Nightwave Radio, eh? So, nice. I think I'm caught up on the supers, right? Looks like it. What's up? Let me refresh. Thank you, Chirp Alerter 5000, Potleaf. Scroll all the way down for my Rumble crew. Thank you, Old Saucy Jules Verne. And the Buddy 1205. Dolphin Spirit 22. Nice to see you guys. Gonna check over on what's up, Coffee Talk with Sandra, Pastor Chatelet over on pilled.net. And hello to Jim in Alaska, of course. Hot Computer Smell asked me to talk about something interesting. So let me see if I can talk about something interesting. But first, let me get to, I think I can talk about something interesting with Daniel in Texas on the line over here. Daniel, what's up, man?
Hi, James. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to talk about slavery.
Please, help me out.
Okay. I noticed that you say slavery is on its way out. And every once in a while, I'll call in and I'll talk about misconceptions about the American Civil War.
Yes.
And what's going on. And this is one of the things that I had a list of things that I was kind of clearing up, and this was on the list, but I wasn't able to get to it. But this idea that slavery was on its way out.
Yeah.
This idea that, well, ultimately the modern world would take over, slavery would become obsolete, and there would be new ways to move forward in industry and agriculture. I am here to tell you, slavery was not on its way out on its own. There were places that Great Britain had eliminated slavery, the slave trade, the British Royal Navy had eliminated the slave trade, but slavery in the southern states was very much alive and thriving.
Okay, so that means that we weren't getting new shipments of slaves in the 1800s, or at least 1850s, 60s.
But by this point, you have
native-born black American slaves.
Yes.
Not necessarily American, because we didn't consider them citizens, I guess. Maybe.
Yes. And one of the Confederate prospects was to reopen the slave trade, that if there was a Confederate victory, they would negotiate with Great Britain to reopen a slave trade.
Okay.
And this wasn't a common thread of thought. This was more of an extremist thread of thought, but it was in discussion in the Confederate Congress. Should we attempt to reopen the slave trade?
Had Mexico already banned slavery too?
Yes.
And Canada
Mexico
had too?
Yes.
All right.
Well, Canada was part of Britain.
Yeah.
So slavery was not going away on its own. It was doing well. It was for all the slave owners. It was very much a lucrative investment. You didn't have to pay for the labor.
Yeah. You just had to room and board.
Exactly. You had to have a government institution that would enforce this, keeping slaves as slaves.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean that the government was going to throw up its hands eventually and just say, you know what, we're tired of doing our jobs. I think that's something we're used to today.
By government, you mean police, slave catcher police? For those who ran away? Or what do you mean by that?
The government had laws that kept slavery as an institution. So runaway slaves would be returned to their masters. The masters could deal with the slaves as they saw fit.
Right.
And this was enforced by the government. All of the removal of this enforcement happened throughout the American Civil War, and it was done as a war aim to mitigate the slave economy for the South. That the government, the United States government, not the Confederate government, the United States government at the time was required to enforce these laws. These laws were on the books, and
at the federal level.
At the federal level. So if you're in Massachusetts and a runaway slave comes to you from Delaware, you have to return by law that slave to the master in Delaware. If you don't do it, you are complicit.
Yeah. But, okay, so England didn't need a war to end slavery in England. Well, England itself didn't have slaves there, but they had slaves in the colonies that they had.
Yes.
So they had slaves in Canada, and then they're like, we need to find a better way. This is not right. This is not making us money in the right way or something. It's a problem.
Well, their economy.
Go ahead.
Their economy was essentially expansion into the various places where they would go outside of the British Islands.
Okay. So they would, they would colonize.
They would tax those colonies because there was heavy resources in this abundant land grab.
Yeah, and then they're managing it. They're kind of managing it or helping to create order. So they're collecting the taxes on you.
Right, and they would employ their native population for, if you remember the Industrial Revolution and all the problems that came with that in terms of work conditions. There'd be all sorts of problems there, but it wouldn't be a slave revolt.
Yeah, it would be It would be workers, quote unquote.
Right.
That not well paid or long hours or little children or whatever, dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the slavery was not on its way out. It was not this.
It was in the world, but not in America.
No, not true. There was still slavery in Brazil. In the New World, slavery was still alive and well. It wasn't in Mexico, but Mexico still had a hacienda program that also had a lot of worker problems. A lot of places would kind of circumvent, well, what does it mean to be a slave?
Right.
And so, but it's not going away on its own in the United States. In the southern states, to include Kentucky and Delaware, slavery is booming, and it's lucrative, and it's not going anywhere.
Nice. And were the slaves happy?
I'm sure there are cases of slaves being happy.
Yeah. Were most of them unhappy?
I don't know. I don't know that much about the polling on how this. I would, if you're asking me, do I think that they would be happier as slaves? I will tell you no. And the reason is because I subscribe to the idea that every man should be able to own his own labor.
Yeah. Okay.
No matter what race you are. You may be...
what does that mean, own your own labor?
That your labor will not be owned by somebody else, where you don't reap any of the reward for your labor.
Some of them were paid, right? That's how they were able to purchase their freedom?
I don't know if I would say that they were paid in the same. I wouldn't go so far as to say that slaves were paid.
Yeah.
Maybe some were, but that wasn't a requirement.
Yeah.
That the payment for the slave was transactional between the seller and the buyer. And that whoever had possession of the slave owned the slave's labor.
So do you think that there should be no slavery by law? Or should it be, you can fall into slavery if you get that far off?
Well, if there is no slavery by law, then slavery isn't possible. But if there is slavery by law, then slavery is mandatory.
Interesting. Wasn't there a man? Was Sam Houston? Did Sam Houston have a pro-slavery speech?
Well, Sam Houston was a Southerner. He was pro-slavery. He was against the secession, and he was against.
Oh, you're breaking up. Come out of the bunker. You're getting bad signal. Oh no, Daniel, I can't understand you. Let me put you on hold just to check on your phone. I think maybe you went to a different place, or your signal suddenly. Hold on. Let me put him on hold. It's kind of bad. Check on Daniel for me in the last few minutes here as we start to wrap up the Hake report. Real quick, while he's checking on him there, guys, I shall. Well, I'll just do a real quick refresh here, just to make sure. Okay. Is he there? Maybe let me check on him real quick. Yeah. Daniel, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You broke up right as soon as you started talking about Sam Houston. Go ahead.
Sam Houston, he is pro-slavery. He's a Southerner. He is the governor of Texas, but he doesn't want to secede, and he doesn't want to join the Confederacy. But his position is that this is the natural order. This is the way of things, that blacks are slaves to whites.
Uh-huh.
The blacks that are in the United States are there by ownership of the slave owners, the white slave owners, and that's the way things should be. And yes, it should be enforced by law.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And but he wanted the country united, whatever the case, because he knew it would be worse for there to be a war, and then it's going to end up worse off for everybody.
Well, Sam Houston did everything in his power to annex Texas into the United States because Mexico was such a threat.
Nice.
And ultimately that resulted in the Mexican-American War, which ceded all the land. And so Sam Houston doesn't want that to dissolve, and he certainly doesn't want it to dissolve on his watch as governor.
Right.
But that's ultimately what happens. And he's taken out of office by an angry mob, and he retires very embittered and dies shortly thereafter.
Wow, what a mess. Well,
Yeah.
Great call, Daniel in Texas, man. So,
okay.
Who knows? I mean, it's all imagination how it might have gone otherwise. What happened, happened. Thanks again, man.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Our resident historian has been replaced. Asmodor was our resident historian. Rest in peace to Asmodor. Thank you, guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. American Anchor, baby. Coming up next. Crank that volume here. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow, and we'll have some fun stuff. Bye, everybody.